Let's turn to UK news if we can. Nigel versus Carwyn, the cage match. The EU in or out debate referendum. Let's first start with a little short video here of the opening statements from both sides.
The question, of course, is whether we wish to remain or leave the European Union. But I wonder whether people have thought through what that actually means. The question is, do we wish to regain our independence as a nation state? Do we want to be free to make our own laws? Do we want our own courts to be supreme? Do we want to take back control of our borders? Do we want to be, like 200 countries around the world, a normal, self-governing nation and live in a true democracy where the people that we vote for and the people that we can sack are the ones that make our laws? Or are we to stay part of, not Europe? This debate tonight is not about Europe. Europe is a continent of diverse countries and peoples and cultures and is a fantastic, fascinating and exciting place. What we're talking about is the European Union, a political union that makes the majority of our laws and a political union whose courts can override us and that now has a flag, an anthem, a police force and is hungry to have its own army. Namely, are we happy to be a subordinate member of a bigger club? Now, clearly I want independence. I believe we'll be better off out. I believe we can free up our 5 million men and women running small businesses. I believe we should make our own trade deals and stand on our own on the world stage and re-engage with the Commonwealth and others. We should be in charge of our key industries, like steel and fisheries, which if we had been, Wales would find itself better off. And crucially, yes, I do believe we should control our own borders. I think unlimited EU immigration has driven down wages and put, frankly, intolerable pressures on our health and education systems.
And as First Minister of Wales, I'm here to tell you what this decision really means for our country. And that starts with an admission. There won't always be easy answers to complicated questions. In fact, if a politician ever tells you there's an easy answer to a complicated question, they're pulling the wool over your eyes. Because this is a serious debate about our future. I'm incredibly proud to be First Minister of Wales, a country that's always punched above its weight in terms of arts, sports and culture, and now in our economy as well. Record foreign direct investment into Wales this year, more good jobs closer to home with better pay. And Wales is part of two unions that provide us with stability, security and prosperity. The union of the United Kingdom and the union that is the European Union. Neither one is perfect. You've heard me talk many times about the need to change Wales's relationship with Westminster, but I will never advocate giving up and walking away. There's a saying, decisions are made by those who turn up. If you want change, you got to work for it, not walk away from the table. And that's what we need to do in terms of the European Union. And now, more than ever, is the time to work together nationally and internationally. 200,000 jobs in Wales rely on European trade. Europe is our largest trading partner. 43% of our trade is with EU countries. Hundreds of Welsh students study in Europe every year. Many more go there to work, and thousands of families holiday there with full health protection should anything go wrong. And for the first time in a long time, our football team will be there in June as well. Wales is at home in Europe, and Europe is at home in Wales. 500 companies from other EU countries have their base in Wales. I don't want those companies to feel they're no longer welcome and to see them up sticks to Italy and Spain. I don't want to put up barriers for companies paying Welsh workers a good wage, giving them apprenticeships and investing in our young people.
So, for my money, they both should have just dropped the mic and walked off after the opening statements. They were very strong, to the point, but then they still had 45 minutes to fill.
They've got to keep going, haven't they? I mean, to be absolutely honest with you, I think Farage probably came over better than Carwyn, but it's almost more about, it's an easier button to push than it is for Carwyn, because he was trying to do two things, you know. We need to stay in a reformed European Union, whereas Farage was trying to do a kind of, so it's more simple, out or in, and he believes out.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no nuance to
well,
to
it is not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it is a very complicated.
As a man who
issue.
hates nuance, but still,
I do,
in
yeah.
some issues,
I do
we've-
too. But I
we've-
mean, this is a complex issue, and I mean, Carwyn is right in everything he says in relation to the amount of, the European Union, Europe is our biggest trading partner, and you go on holiday in Europe, and students go there, but Farage has got an easier time in terms of pressing this hot button of out or in.
Well, I mean, and if you look at the history of the right, everything they do is to try and narrow things down to a black, white, yes, no, in, out decision.
Yeah.
Because they're dealing, they think, with low information voters, but
Yeah.
they find a 7 or 8 word key phrase, repeat it over and over and over and over again, so that it becomes reality. So it becomes more than just their opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
there are so many shades of gray here. There are parts of what Nigel said that I absolutely agree with. We have got to get rid of this crazy, sick level of bureaucracy in the EU. This almost lifetime employment program for politicians and bureaucrats. That part of it has got to stop.
Yeah.
But to just say we're no longer going to play, we're going to throw all our toys out the pram because we don't like the direction the pram is going, I agree with Carwyn. So I never thought I'd say within a span of a minute that I agree with the Labour leader and I agree with Nigel. But that's how this situation is. So many shades of
I
grey.
know where you're coming from. I mean, there does need to be reform. There does need to be changes, and bureaucracy is part of it. And Carwyn is absolutely right. It isn't perfect, but they are, and you're correct in saying this. It is top heavy, and we do need to change things, and the bureaucracy in relation to that is a key issue. And Farage is right on all of that. But you're absolutely correct. Pulling out. I mean, what a load of bollocks that is.
Well, and the argument I hear when I talk to voters, for example, is a Farage type argument. They'll sit there and they'll say, well, we can no longer trade with Commonwealth nations, we have to trade with the EU. Well, no, that's not true. But that's the line that's being peddled as the only line out there.